Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a great weekend and that you're spending time with your loved ones. I wanted to first thank you guys for following me on my journey with this madness behind me, the Magico M6, and what you're seeing on your screen right now, right? Everything you're seeing right now, all the product that I've been able to place here in my room, and my personal experience with everything that I've owned. I couldn't do this without you all. I wanted to say that those of you who follow me, who support me, guys, I couldn't really thank you guys more. And I hope to meet a lot of you guys when we get back out there and we go to Expona and we go to Rocky Mountain or Munich and all the rest of the shows. I really hope to personally shake hands with a lot of you guys. Thank you to all my supporters, everyone that's behind me, everyone that's helped me do what I do here. And I couldn't be happier, to be honest, than what I'm doing today, which is to share my experience. And in this case, I'm going to give you my 2-month analysis, living with the Magico M6 for 2 months. So I've had him exactly 2 months. I believe it was Wednesday. And this last Wednesday. And right now I have a pretty good understanding of what the speaker is really about. You guys have seen the speaker with PassLab 60.8s, PassLab 600.8s, Griffin Essence stereo, Griffin Essence mono, solution integrated. You guys have seen the amplifier Griffin Untitled as well, the Untitled Evo. So you've seen the speaker with about 5 different amplifiers. And, I have a pretty good understanding at this time. I think that I already know more about the M6 with the short time that I've owned it. I want to start first by saying that it is, aesthetically speaking, as what you see right now on your screens, aesthetically speaking, this is really an impressive looking speaker. To me, it's... I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. It's a timeless design. It's sort of like Macintosh. It never ages when you look at it. This is the speaker that in the year 2030, 2040, it will still look very pretty regardless of where you place it. Construction is the same way, as you can see on the pictures. It's just a beautiful piece, beautiful speaker from top to bottom. Everything about the speaker screams quality. It looks like, Alon Wolf and his team really did not skimp here in any way, shape, or form. So, but that said, of course, you guys know I don't really keep everything for long. And, right now I am in really a position to just give you my opinion on on the Magico M6, right? And I'm talking from my own experience. I want to say that. It's not about reading magazines. It's about what I believe in. And we can start out by talking about the tonality of the M6, the tonality, the sonics, what the speaker really brings to the table. Sonically speaking, if we start with the tweeter, the beryllium tweeter to me is ultra revealing. When I say ultra revealing, you'll hear everything that is behind me. You'll hear everything. Even the wire that runs through the wall, you'll hear it. I mean, it's incredible. Like, it really is a revealing tweeter, to the point that sometimes, I'll be honest, at times it really got to me. I mean, there were times where I felt like upset behind the scenes because I couldn't get it to do what I needed it to do. And I said, there's no way. The speaker is naturally, I wouldn't call it warmer, but it is warmer than the S series, which I've had. The A series as well, it's warmer. It's a warmer tweeter. And it could be, again, the design, the cabinet, the carbon fiber. It could be the way the speaker was built. But that said, I can tell you that tweeter will definitely let you hear everything you put. Every single little thing, for even an outlet. Even if you change your outlet, you'll hear if something changed. That sometimes can be a good thing, because if you're spending a lot of money in electronics, you want to hear your money's worth, right? You want to hear where that money went. And this speaker will certainly do that for you. Now, in regards to the mid-range When I did that exercise that I showed you guys recently, which was that exercise where I covered everything, okay, and I'll show you a couple of pictures of what I have done here to rearrange my setup. But if you remember, I mean, the transparency of the mid-range is incredible. I mean, is it neutral? Yes, but it also gives you even the garbage that is found in recordings. You can hear it through the mids. How can you hear it? The mids become veiled. They become muffled. There were songs that you guys heard on my channel that you guys even commented, where you guys said that song sounds muffled or completely veiled or not clear, and we were talking about it being perhaps the pass labs or the essence monos or the cables or even the speaker. The reality is it wasn't the speaker. How do I know that? Because I heard different versions from different songs that I played for you guys, and I can hear how the tweeter in the mids went from being very clear to muddy and veiled, dark, or glassy sounding in with regards to the high frequency. So the neutrality of the tweeter in the mid-range, guys, is incredible here. It really reminded me a lot of the electrostatics that I had, the Martin Logan Neoliths, guys. I mean, the Martin Logan Neoliths, to me, I mean, I still remember them. They were incredible speakers. As a matter of fact, this speaker, and I've said it before, it reminds me a lot of an electrostatic. It really feels like everything comes at you uniform, evenly. You don't hear drivers dancing and one is out of rhythm, if that makes sense. Everything comes at you coherently. There is no, you don't have that phenomenon where I can hear the tweeter by itself, or I can hear the mids by itself. You don't have that happening here with the bass, mids, or highs. That doesn't happen here with this speaker. Now, with regards to the bass, as you know, 3 10.5 inch drivers, which gave me a tremendous amount of thump, fullness, pressurized the room when the song called for it. I've worked the speakers quite a lot in terms of placement. I have tried to, I even had a remote session with Magico in order to understand a little more about the room correction that I have, REW. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with it. And Alon Wolf was kind enough to link me up with one of his engineers, and he was able to put me in touch with him, and we were able to remotely run a couple of measurements with the speakers, and I was able to dial in the speakers based on those measurements. And I can tell you, definitely a lot of magic happened when I did that. I heard a lot more. The imaging got a lot better. The bass, I felt like it got more layered by doing that. So what I'm saying is, the more you put into the speaker, okay, the more it will reward you. And I know, yes, that goes for any speaker, Jay. I understand that. But this speaker is that much more crucial. This speaker, you can throw it into a room and really make it sound bad. I mean, it's not hard to make it sound bad. It really isn't. Why? Because it really connects with your room and your electronics better than just about any speaker I've had before. So it places greater demand on you, the end user, you. To be prepared for that. You have to be prepared to take on the challenge of buying the right electronics, which I honestly don't think I have even gotten there yet. Buying the right electronics, the right cables, and really setting yourself up for success with the speaker. It is very easy to set yourself up for failure with the M6. Very easy, guys. Extremely easy. Okay, so you have to be very patient with the speaker. You have to really work it. This is not the speaker that you throw into the room, connect your stereo amplifier, and push play. Why? Because you have no idea what you really are missing when you do that. I mean, the magic of the speaker, the magic of the Magico M6 only comes to life when you've invested time, yes, resources, money, energy, countless hours with positioning, with buying the right electronics for it. I mean, you have to really be willing to go the extra mile with the M6 to let the speaker show you what it is capable of doing. If you are not willing to do that, I 100% do not recommend that you buy the Magico M6. It's not the speaker for you. Let the dealer that you're working with bring you the speaker, position it, Buy the right electronics. A lot of people are talking about Solution being the best amplifier and preamplifier. I am sure that combination is amazing. I am more just into trying to find my own combinations that I like with the speaker, right? I heard a Solution integrated very briefly to have an understanding of the tonality, and yes, guys, I understand the integrated is not even close to the separates, but I wanted to understand the DNA, right? And the DNA, what I heard, it wasn't really probably for me. It was very clear, but it probably wasn't for me. So that kind of led me to start thinking outside the box and start exploring other brands, Past Labs, Griffin, and trying to see, even actually, I forgot, before I forget, the 160Ms that you guys heard, the Audio Research 160Ms, right? We plugged those in, we connected those as well. So we tried the Audio Research 160Ms as well. And I personally thought that was the worst presentation of the M6 with the Audio Research 160Ms. Yes, I know a lot of you guys are going to tell me, well, Jay, you know, that amplifier doesn't have enough power to control the speaker. It doesn't have enough, drive or current, you name it. I get that. This is why it's called a lab. That's my job, to try to bring you guys combinations that most people don't do. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about this. I want to know, why do I have to do Solution? What is the reason behind it? Just because everybody else has done it? I don't care what I don't care what the magazines have done. I don't care what this guy said, that guy said. I listen and I use it as a point of reference to have an understanding of what I need to be doing, but I don't need to follow that path. I want to follow my own path. This is the reason for this channel, so that you guys get to see me try things that are not normal, things that are not normally done. There's nothing to lose. At the end of the day, I try, I fail. Beautiful, I failed. Great. I got to talk about it, and I got to share that with you guys, okay? Anyway, continuing on with the Magico M6. Soundstage, I would say, with the Magico M6, it doesn't come... So Wilson Audio, as you guys know, I've had Wilson Audio 5 times, I can't remember, maybe 6 times. And that speaker sounds big all the time. Every single time, the Wilson Audio speaker is known to sound big. This M6 is not that way. This M6 will show you if the song is recorded to sound big, it will sound big. If it's not, it'll give you a one-dimensional picture of the presentation. Does that make sense? It won't try to make the song what it's not. What it really isn't, the speaker is not going to work. Remaster it and give it to you in, with more dimensions. It's not going to do that for you. If the song does not have that in the recording, it won't do that for you. Okay? The contrast, okay, of the speaker. So when we go from a sound stage that is recorded, let's just say this being a big sound stage, right? This being a small sound stage, right? Wilson is in the middle. So Wilson will take you, even if the recording is recorded here in terms of soundstage, it'll still be here with soundstage, right? And then when the recording opens up, it'll go to the top and get that big, right? Magico won't do that. Magico will never sit in the middle. It'll be here if it's anemic. It'll be here if it's recorded big. So the contrast from the top, from a small soundstage to a big soundstage is greater with the Magico than I recall with the Wilsons. That's one thing, one comparison. And I'm going to go and talk about Wilson comparisons. How does Wilson compare to Magico in a future video? Right now, I'm trying to just stay on track talking about the Magico. Anyway, so that's one thing, the contrast of the soundstage from a small soundstage to a big soundstage. This speaker will go and do 0 to 100 miles like this. The woofers need a lot of control. Yes. That said, I always found myself impressed by the speaker's ability to change direction. So it is like a chameleon. If the song comes in and it's recorded okay, so basically if it plays in your car stereo, right? Let's say you grab a song from the 80s, I don't know, Madonna, let's just say, and you hear it in your car stereo, it sounds great. Not amazing, but great. When you play it here, it will really show you the quality of the recording. how bad or good it is. I personally like that, but I know a lot of you guys wouldn't like that. I know a lot of you guys would complain about that. I know a lot of you guys will feel that you're forced to buy top quality recordings, else the Magico M6 really doesn't do it for you. Is that the fault of the speaker though? Is it really the fault of the speaker? The goal of building the speaker was to create a neutral device. I think they have succeeded. I think Magico has succeeded. But I think a lot of you guys watching me are very critical of that. Okay, because some of you guys might come and say, well, Jay, I want to just listen to music and I don't want to be analyzing things. I don't really care to hear how poor a recording was, because at the end of the day, I am using this as a hobby to enjoy music with, not to sit there and take notes and analyze what's happening. And that's a very fair statement. But we can't place that guilt on the speaker, because it's really not the speaker that's doing that for you. It really is the recordings. Anyhow, I have given you some of the pros of owning a Magico M6. Okay, but I know with any product, you have pros and cons. So now let me get started with the cons of the speaker.